Earlier this year, the Hong Kong government established the Financial Services Development Council, and as its chairman, Laura Cha, the executive councillor and businesswoman. Laura, congratulations on the new role. And talking about financial services, of course, in Hong Kong they're very robust, have been for years. So why the council and why now?
It's a good question. If you ask me, we perhaps should have one a little bit earlier. And obviously, like you said, our financial service sector is extremely robust. It has been doing very well. The Development Council carry a few, as you perhaps have seen from our mission and our terms of reference. The development is the key part. Our financial services has been doing successfully thanks to several events in the last 20 years or so, and first among which was the listing of the state-owned enterprises in Hong Kong. And with that, and then the red chips, and of course now is the internationalization of the renminbi. Now all these, if you can see, came from the mainland. And I can say that for the foreseeable future, the source of our capital is continue to come from the mainland. Not only the source of capital, but also the source of investors. And the fact that development, it's both in terms of promotion and in terms of how or what area we can do better or do more. Or there are areas that we haven't been doing and perhaps we can think about doing. It's very much in the nature of the Trade Development Council in the early days that, Hong Kong has trade, but we need something outside of the government to help push this very important sector. And the Financial Services Development Council consists of members from the industry. It is as much a practitioner and market-based council than just a purely government-led body.
So you mentioned the Chinese mainland and the financial services related to that. Is that really going to be the focus of the council over the next few years?
Well, it will be one of the key focus, but not the only focus. And I have said on several occasions, and I feel very strongly that Hong Kong's strength is our position with the mainland China at our back. We benefit hugely from the economic reform of the country in the last 20 to 30 years. And at the same time, the other side of us is we're looking into the world. We're facing the world, we're global, we're international. And that is the other part of the equation.
Laura, the functions of the council are very wide. There are very wide terms of reference, if you like. So what are the focuses that you're going to have?
The reason that our remit or mission and the terms of reference is wide, let's take education as an example. We, the council, is not going to provide education per se. But when we develop our market, let's say we identified certain area that we should further develop, whether it is in debt, in insurance, whether it is in some not yet developed area. What has to accompany that is to have the right kind of people. Because financial services, after all, is service, and service is rendered by people. So we must have qualified people to be the other part to support what we want to do, what we aspire to do.
So looking at insurance particularly, is that one that you're going to have to develop?
Well, we don't look so much as to providing the qualified professional for the mainland. I think, our remit has to be within our territory, within Hong Kong. I use insurance as an example because lots of, in my consultation process, in the preparation stage, I come across a lot of views that the insurance sector could be further developed. There are different kinds of insurance, for example.
So looking at Hong Kong's competitors, there are, of course, Shanghai and Singapore on the horizon. Are you really very worried about them?
I think we are all at a different stage of our development. Let's take Shanghai. Shanghai has a start which is, several decades later than us. So it is going through some of the issues. And for a market that is barely 20 years old, it has done tremendously well. We had the benefit of having gone through those issues, or you say growing pain, and we have learned our lessons in the different stages of our development. Singapore is a little bit like Hong Kong in this development stage, but it faces issues that are slightly different from ours. We have benefited from mainland China, and Singapore does not have that advantage. But on the other hand, it has Southeast Asia. Issues that they have to consider are slightly different from ours, but we're all, at the end of the day, we all compete with each other, not only regionally, but we have other players that want to be in this part of the market. And at the same time, we want to reach beyond our border, so that Hong Kong will not only just be an international financial center, but a globally significant one.
So Laura, what's going to be the yardstick of your success over the next 10 years, would you say?
I think if we could improve our, how should I say, the general environment in terms of increase our base, broaden our breadth, in terms of the different sectors, some of which are underdeveloped, because currently people tend to think of financial market as banks and security firms, but there are a lot beyond that, right? So if, say, 10 years from now, if we have been able to identify in the next few years some major breakthrough, some major policy, I think that would increase our breadth of the market, that would be good.
Laura Cha, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.